This is the moment where my gambling addiction starts.
I wanted to do a video on the use of AI in sport, and I had this lofty idea of gathering all the different softwares and technologies I could, and then applying them to myself and my team on the training ground. I quickly realized that if you're not a researcher or you don't want to shell out a bunch of money, you don't really have access to all that much. But I figured a good, easier starting point to get into the topic would be the use of AI in sports betting. I found this app called Sports Prediction, and what it does is it gathers a whole bunch of data about the team, their opponent, how the players are doing, all stats about them, thousands of data points, and then it gives out a prediction. So what I did is I put a little bit of money down on Spurs against Newcastle, and actually I really don't know that much about football. I played house league when I was a kid. Maybe I'll watch Champions League final, or if somebody asks me to go to the pub and watch. So I guess that it's good for me that I'm coming into it purely off the technology, not putting any of my own knowledge on the match itself. And I lost my bet in the first 25 minutes. So based off what the AI was telling me, I put down Newcastle to win 2-1. I put in how many corners Newcastle would have and how many the Spurs would have. And one thing to note is it told me Callum Scott had the highest percentage of scoring, like 46. And it didn't realize that he actually wasn't even playing that match. I believe he was injured. It was either him or somebody else, but the AI didn't know what the starting lineup was, it seemed. So then I went with Son to score, who was the next highest. And so with that, my bet kind of went out the window. Yeah, at 25 minutes in, somebody else had scored, which means that there was no way I was going to get everything right. I used the Sky Bet app to put the money down, and it gave a 30 credit for signing up. I'm not really a gambler, but insert clip if I won it big with that money. But yeah, the whole point of the video is just to scratch the surface of what AI can do in sports. One of the more obvious applications would be scouting. You can think of it as sports betting in reverse, where if you're gambling on the result of a match, scouting would be you using the AI to find the person that would lead to those results in the first place. Then I even read an article where there was this volleyball team that used AI, used a lot of data of their opponents, and it's starting to predict what actions the opponent will take, what sort of movement or what plays will happen. So then you can use that to inform what you work on the training ground, because you have an idea of what the opponents are going to do. And then something like baseball even, which is very stat heavy, so then the application of AI there, using all of those numbers to figure out what the opponents are going to do, what's the best action to take, how to train. Me personally, I'm a hockey player, so if we look at applications in my sport, let's say for instance you're an international player, you've got a game against Germany, you've got Gonzalo Payet drag flicking against you. Let's say the AI crawls the internet for every single clip from every single angle that they can find of him flicking, all of his stats, all of his results with corners. Can it find any tells in his movements that tell you where he's going to flick? Does he have any tendencies on where he shoots? Can it predict when they rely more on direct shot or when the team will use variations? Does the time in the match or the score in the match or the stage in the tournament affect their patterns? Anything that will give the defense an edge. The computer can gather all this data, crunch the numbers with accuracy, and then find the patterns way better than a person ever could. There's a million points of data and insights that AI could give you, and if this technology doesn't already exist, surely it will soon in the future. And knowledge is power, right? So yeah, the main thing that I'm trying to say is that AI will become very much integrated into sports, I believe, going forward. And I guess that brings into question fair play and sanctity of competition, but that's a topic for another video. Yeah, that's it for this one. As always, leave a comment for some feedback, like if you liked it, share if you think somebody else might too, and subscribe so you're in the loop for probably something data-driven. I'm looking at some Junior World Cup stuff, and I'm going to be away for the holidays, so maybe some travel content too. See ya!